Orange and yellow candy corn center.
You take a look. Yeah, that's what's out there. Oh my God, it's time! I can't believe it. Look at the time.
5 o'clock.
The show is over.
5 o'clock.
Boy, was that fun? Did everybody have fun? That was a lot of fun. Wow. Thanks. Good. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. So, somebody call up Mitt Romney and tell him the 47% are right here. I mean, could this guy stick his foot any deeper in his mouth? You know, he went over to London and pissed him off with the Olympics. I mean, he goes on and on and on, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you, this is really something. Yeah. Right now, he probably wishes he was Obama. Right?
Lesser of two evils, yeah.
Yeah. So the news just gets better and better and better. I mean, I just love it. I mean, we're going to have some fun with the news. Romney says remarks on voters help clarify position. In other words, if you're collecting Social Security, if you happen to get a check from anywhere whatsoever, and you pay more than 15% taxes, don't vote for me. Yeah, I love it. Russia demands that the U.S. end support of democracy groups. Isn't that unique? I love the Russians for that one today.
Give us 4 more years of Obama, we'll end it ourselves.
The Kremlin views American financial support for democracy is evil. Yep. Yep, a faded piece of papyrus. How do you pronounce that? Anybody know?
Papyrus.
Papyrus, yeah. This is right here in the news right now. Refers to Jesus' wife. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. He was
Yeah, this right here. I'm not making this up. This is definitely right here. So in case you may have missed this, it's right here. And I'll read you. This is right out of the New York Times right now. Historian says Cambridge of early Christianity at Harvard Divinity School has identified a scrap of papyrus she says was written in Coptic in the 4th century and contains a phrase never seen in any piece of scripture. Jesus said to them, "My wife sent me out for eggs and milk, but I'd rather be with you guys." No, but the other thing is real. I'm not joking. Oh. Yeah, right. So there you go. There's more news that you didn't even know about. Jesus had a wife and a whore. He was just a man, wasn't he?
Just an average guy.
What a disappointment, right? Mary Magdalene and a wife. That's wild. Yep. Yeah, this is great.
No embassies were burned down in this joke.
Exactly. Everybody having fun? Yeah. Yep. Goldman Sachs says they're going to want to bring the next deal after that Facebook. Oh, yeah, Facebook. Can you imagine that? And Alibaba is closing a deal with Yahoo. I'm amazed. How many people still have a Yahoo email address? Anybody here?
Mm-hmm. Totally me.
Yeah. Anybody got Hotmail?
Oh, yeah, I have that.
And anybody still have Prodigy.net?
You serve.
Do you remember GeoCities?
GeoCities, right. Do you remember that?
Oh,
God.
I used
GeoCities. God, that was such a hot stock, too, wasn't it? Didn't it come public or something? And it went up and went out. Yep.
Geo's named for that.
GeoCities,
one
yeah.
of the first websites there? Wesley Crusher, the guy that played... Oh, what's his name? He's on...
Will Wheaton.
Will
Star
Wheaton,
Trek.
Yes.
Will Wheaton.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Star Trek. Can you just imagine, you know, sitting there? Do you remember the communicator? It was as big as a small paperback book, and we thought, wow, wouldn't that be nice to have one of those? And all it could do was call up, "Scotty, can you get me out of here?"
He flips the lid open and almost sprains his hand. It's so big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know why Gene Roddenberry came up with the transporter?
Because
I
it's
do,
cheaper
but,
than filming shuttlecrafts every week.
How many people know? Go on, who says they know?
I know.
Go on.
I
Why?
know.
Go on,
Because they didn't
CatBoy.
have the money for the special effects for the shuttle.
Wrong. He couldn't figure out how to get them from point A to point B within the new world, so he just created a teleporter. It wasn't the money for the thing, and it had to do with how to get them from the ship to wherever.
Oh. Well, the ship's too big to land.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you land that thing?
Very carefully.
Yeah.
Big.
God.
I got one as a
Start.
Christmas ornament. If that hits the ground, it's broken.
Big.
How many people watched the first Star Wars in recent history? Don't those guys in the white suit look like they must be playing for the Baltimore Colts?
There's at least two
love
scenes
that
I left in
movie.
where they're tripping or banging their heads.
Yeah. I love it. You okay? Oh.
Somebody fell down.
Yeah. Saw a great movie this weekend, in case you guys ever do go to movies. It's called Looking for Sugarman, and it's about somebody named Rodriguez. Anybody pronounce that properly? Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Look at these people. Do you know who he was? He was as good as Leonard Cohen or Bob Dylan, but his name wasn't Jewish, so nobody bought his albums in America, okay?
Sold more albums than Elvis or the Beatles, right?
A girl took his album to see her boyfriend in South Africa, and they copied it in 1971 too. He only made 2 albums, and everybody in South Africa, he was more famous than Elvis Presley. He didn't know it. He was a laborer in Detroit because his 2 albums didn't sell. They made a great movie. There you go.
All right.
Okay, I've nearly used up 7 minutes of time. Look how good that is. I wonder what a power breakfast in New York is now. What is it, like wheatgrass? I'm getting some feedback by somebody that's interesting. Who's giving us feedback here? Anybody?
I think it's Aslan.
Aslan. No,
No, wait,
don't
wrong.
blame people unless you know who it is. You know, it could be you even, you know? And actually, I think it's, oh my gosh,
think
it's
it's
Jodie
better.
Foster in Contact.
She's coming through the wormhole.
Yeah. Won't she be surprised when she sees us?
Probably want to go back. Oh man, we went through all this just for this guy.
Yep. So Second Life, I mean, this is a big deal. They sent out a message today. Did anybody get the message? We're really sorry most of the regions weren't working and all your shit was destroyed, but we'll see what we can do about it sometime into the future. It went out today. Did anybody get that message? Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah, I saw
I
it.
had heard you were.
Yeah,
having
wasn't that
low
funny?
icons, but I didn't get any message.
I felt so deja vu, like last week.
The only difference is now you're admitting it's fucked up now instead of just saying, "Oh, it's running fine."
We did updates and we fucked up things. Sorry.
You ever get the feeling that the reason this gets messed up is that somebody in Linden Labs is sitting there eating a Babe Ruth bar and's got it on his fingers and then presses a button and it all goes berserk?
No, he just gets bored and he flicks the switch and a server in Poughkeepsie goes down. Eastern Seaboard ends up with their head up their ass.
Oh, look at that. It was a
Both of those
Bavarian
servers seem-
cream donut landed on them keys. What?
Oh no.
The Pepsi syndrome.
All right. What's your best keyboard nightmare story of your own? Anybody have one? A good one? Coffee. That coffee, where everybody spilled coffee on a keyboard at one point or another, right?
Done it.
Root beer for me.
My
No.
cat was trying to drink lemonade and emptied the glass on my keyboard.
Oh, there you go. Cat lemonade. There you go. CatBoy, that's a relative of yours. Cat lemonade. All right. Hello, Julie. So there's one. Anybody else have a good one?
Vodka on mine.
Vodka. Yeah.
Spelled anything on the keyboard?
Yeah. By the way, the new iPhone has. How many of you seen it slightly bigger than the 4S? Did you see that? Everybody see that new one? That. So I figure if I keep rubbing my 4S, it might turn into a 5, right? Because that could happen.
You need an attachment for it.
You need an attachment, right? Can't believe, everybody's so excited. 2 million people waiting in line. There are 8 million Apple freaks that are waiting in line for next year's fucking product, okay? Right? I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Did you hear about the story? Fox News tried to report on the iPhone.
Yeah.
And they didn't vet the story. They just found this wonderful video saying, "Oh, the next
Yes, I
iPhone's
heard
gonna
about
have
this.
like a holographic keyboard,
Yeah.
and all that stuff." And it turned out it was just the whole thing was a total fraud by someone who
Yeah, they were
made
punked.
stuff up on YouTube.
This is Fox News,
Yeah, I know.
The source for
We
all the
report, you
information that's
decide.
not true when you want. Yeah, right.
I thought
We
they were a
report
reliable
bullshit.
news source.
Right, exactly. Fox News,
We are
right?
just
Exactly.
Your world has been shattered.
Right. I can't wait till they call out the dogs and the horses and everything, and they go out for the fox hunt.
Yeah.
What's illegal in Germany? iPhones or Fox? What's illegal in Germany?
Wars.
Press?
Internet Explorer.
Oh, I think he's talking about circumcision.
Yeah,
Which is
you
illegal
got 2 million people waiting to buy an iPhone, and they think that's a big deal. There are 9 million people trying to, delete fucking Internet Explorer. That's even bigger. I love it. I love it.
Oh, that debate's on. I'm gonna miss it.
What debate is on?
Oh, Jon Stewart's taking
Jon
on Bill
Stewart
O'Reilly.
and Bill Riley, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's not a debate. That's a crucifixion.
Yeah, this time the Jew doesn't get it, though.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody having fun. We're just making up a lot of stuff. If you remember old times when you were in Second Life, way back at the very beginning, when you couldn't have nice toenails, girls, do you remember that? And you had to attract the boys with just your charm. And you had to compete with a lot of escorts that weren't girls. Do you remember that? Finally you knew, voice came and you were in a room with 300 women. And you said, hi. And they all went, hello.
Hello.
That's when you knew you were the one.
My, what a deep voice you have.
There's a picture of me up on Flickr somewhere that somebody took on an upskirt, when I was wearing very scanty panties. And, my pictures never got many hits, but this one got a gazillion hits. And I thought, how sad for these boys who were looking at this thing thinking, whoa, and doing things to themselves, only to find out later that they now needed medication. All right, so let's bring up the first one to come up. You know who we should have? We should have somebody who's never been up here before, right? Are you ready? Are you ready? Mister, you know who you are. Come on. Do I have to say your name? Brightburn, you ready? You still here? Did you log off? Hello? He logged off.
Damn.
He logged off. Son finally had a chance and he's gone.
Stage fright.
If he comes back, somebody let me know. And we will go then.
Oh, wait, someone just logged in.
Yes, and who was it?
Oh, it's Miss Roxy's girl, Lisa. Sorry.
It's Lou66.
Lou 66. That's like the devil's number.
Lou 66, where are you?
1-6 missing there.
666. Like, what is that anyhow? I know what 6'9" looks like, but what is a 666? 3 people sleeping in bed
devil's
in like a...
I
God.
thought it was the devil's area code.
666, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So let's bring up Doc. Hey, Doc, you ready?
Yeah.
Is Doc here?
Doc is here, yeah.
Doc is in the house.
Doc is
Okay.
He's right next to you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm piecing together a bunch of stuff because we got really, really bad storms here, and I had to drive through flooded roads and detours and stuff, so I'm a little harried right now. But I wanted to do this just a couple things. I have MSN on during the day on my work computer, and it comes up with it's kind of like Twitter. It comes up with things that are trending right now. And there was a story on here that I'm going to read, but what's funnier than the story are the comments that people put on afterwards. That's really what makes a comedy. The story is entitled "NASA's Warp Speed Engine Promises New Planets and Hot Aliens." Now the story reads, Somebody tell NASA you cannot change the laws of physics. The agency is not only convinced that Star Trek-style warp drive technology is possible, they're working on it and say it could be a reality in our lifetime. Let's face it, putting some guys in a giant soup can and lighting a match obviously isn't going to get us real far in the long term. For the head of NASA's Advanced Propulsion Team, Dr. Harold White, it's about identifying the loopholes in the physics rulebook and creating an engine that will compress the space in front of and behind the vessel. It's called bending space. Moving it to another place without actually going very far. They did that in Dune, if you recall the movie. He believes such technology would get us to our nearest Earth-like planet, Gliese 58, with a travel time of about 2 years. We're coming, sexy blue ladies. Save yourself for us. Now, that's the story. Now, underneath it, they invite the intelligent 47% of America to comment. Would you want to get off this rock? Okay, here are some of the comments. If Obama is reelected, I'm ready to leave in November. Okay. Hey, I'll take a job anywhere. I just need the work. Okay. Real-world applications. One more reason Star Trek is better than Star Wars. I'm still waiting for the Captain Kirk versus Chuck Norris SmackDown. Okay? Do your research before writing a nonsensical fluff article. Everyone knows sexy alien women are green, not blue, asshole. Okay. I'd like to stay here, but can everyone else leave? Well, okay. Well, if we don't know where Obama came from, let's send him to a place we don't know. All right. I'm all for any planet that gets us away from the mind-numbing reach of reality TV. Amen. Okay.
Get me away
We'll
from
get
Honey
there
Boo
if we
Boo.
don't blow our ass back to the Stone Age. I vote to send our current president and Congress off planet where they can't screw up anything else here. Okay. Let's see. Finding other life on other planets is a double-edged sword. We may find what we believe is intelligent life, but from their viewpoint, will they actually believe they found intelligent life? That is a very good point. And just remember that unless you're the chief of engineering, never, ever wear the red shirt. Because if you remember, the guy in the red shirt always got killed before the first commercial.
Right.
Yeah.
And the final comment here, I mean, there was hundreds of them. Given the current state of affairs, I would hit the space-time pavement today. I mean, no offense, but some of you really fucking smell. Okay. So
That's so nice.
that's what was trending. Now, I got a couple of other things here. Everybody knows, first of all, anybody have any plans for December 22nd this year?
Drink.
December 22nd is the day after the Mayan calendar ends and the world spins off into oblivion. Just so you know. So if your retirement
So in
is
that
trending
case,
in the
have a
wrong
sandwich.
direction, pull it
That's
out.
only a
and spend
problem
it.
if you're a Mayan. The rest of us are going to stay here.
Correct.
Yeah, rest of us have to put up with it.
And everybody is convinced that the Mayan calendar has some prophetic meaning for ending on December 21st, 2012. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I like to take my clock on my laptop. It's down on the right-hand side in the bottom, and I click on the calendar, and I want to see what day of the week June 13th, 2097 is. And I look at it, and I figure, it's nice, but I'll never fucking get there, so who cares, right? The Mayans probably did the same thing. They figure 3,000 years in the future, who fucking cares? We won't be around. We'll just end it right here. But here are some signs that the apocalypse is coming, okay? Republicans and Democrats engage in a wild orgy during a Senate session. C-SPAN ratings go through the roof. A 500-foot-tall Stay Puft Marshmallow Man strolls down Central Park West. I've seen that before. The Major League Baseball Players Union announces that players believe they've been paid too much money. Okay.
No.
The 3 big auto companies give the U.S. government a loan. That's a bad investment.
It might come to that.
Howard Stern is elected Secretary General of the UN. We'll be in a war before the echo dies. Okay. The Ku Klux Klan formally admits that they, quote, may have been a little intolerant to others. God bless us all. 93% of the NBA are white boys from Nebraska. I won't live to see that.
Ooh.
George Lucas calls a press conference and admits that shitty Star Wars prequels were made to fund his growing addiction to Hello Kitty paraphernalia. All right. Here's a sign the apocalypse is coming, and I grew up with this. Bob Dylan is coherent.
Keith Richards sobers up.
Yeah. Sears starts selling only 1-year service contracts on their washers and dryers. You know you're in trouble then. And this is a sign that it's coming. President Rick Santorum. God help us. Head for the doorstep. Now, I got a couple of things here. 2 men are in a doctor's office, okay? Each of them are going in to get a vasectomy. Nurse comes into the room and tells both men, strip and put on these gowns before going in to see the doctor to have your procedure done. So a few minutes later, she returns and reaches into one man's gown and proceeds to fondle and begin to masturbate him. Shocked, he says, "Hey, what are you doing? Well, why are you doing that?" To which she replies, very matter-of-factly, "We have to vacate the sperm from your system to have a clean procedure." Okay, the guy figures not wanting to be a problem, and frankly, he's enjoying it. He allows her to complete her task, right? After she's through, she moves over to the next man. She starts to fondle him as she had the previous guy, but then she drops to her knees and proceeds to give him oral sex. Now the guy's pissed. He says, hey, why is it that I get masturbated and he gets a blowjob? The nurse replies very matter-of-factly, "Sir, there is a difference between HMO and complete coverage." Now,
The way you get jerked off.
yeah. Now, these are actual classified ad mix-ups, and I'm going to go through a couple of them here. Actual ads that appeared in newspapers, okay? A superb and inexpensive restaurant. Finely food expertly served by waitresses in appetizing forms. Okay. For sale, antique desks suitable for lady with thick legs and large drawers. I want one of those. We do not tear your clothing with machinery. We do it carefully by hand. Have several very old dresses from grandmother in beautiful condition. Tired of cleaning yourself? Let me do it. Dog for sale. Eats anything and is fond of children. Vacation special. Vacation special. Have your home exterminated. Toaster. Toaster, a gift that every member of the family appreciates. Automatically burns toast. Mine does, no problem. Here's one on coupon day. Stock up and save. Limit 1. For sale. 6-room hated apartment. Man, honest, will take anything. Man wanted to work in dynamite factory. Must be willing to travel. Used cars. Why go elsewhere to be cheated? Come here first. Christmas tag sale. Christmas tag sale. Handmade gifts for the hard-to-find person. I got a couple of those. Wanted. Hair cutter. Excellent growth potential. 3-year-old teacher needed for preschool. Experience preferred. Our experienced mom will take care of your child. Fenced yard, meals, and smacks included. Auto repair service. Free pickup and delivery. Try us once. You'll never go anywhere again, we promise. Here's a good one. Illiterate? Write today for free help. Okay. That's like a fucking Braille menu on the drive-in at McDonald's. They actually have that, too. Okay. And now, the Superstore. Unequaled in size, unmatched in variety, unrivaled in convenience. Inconvenience. Okay.
Inconvenience store.
Inconvenience, yeah. We will oil your sewing machine and adjust tension in your home for only $1. Got one more story for you, and then I'm going to get off here before somebody throws something at me. A recovering alcoholic. Recovering alcoholic.
Alcoholic? What's an alcoholic?
I am downtown to pick up my income tax return. He passes a bar and goes inside. promises himself he'll only have a couple of beers and then leave. Well, he goes in and gets shit-faced, okay? He sits at the bar, he pukes down the front of his shirt. Immediately, he breaks out into tears, sobbing. My wife is going to leave me. I'm just a miserable old drunk, and now I'm going to die alone. The guy sitting next to him says, look, buddy, it's not that bad. You can get out of this. Take a $5 bill and put it in your shirt pocket. When you get home, tell her you had a couple beers and a guy puked on you. Tell her that the $5 was given to you to pay for the shirt. You know what? He says, that just might work. You're a saint. Thanks, buddy. So the drunk guy goes straight home, right? He walks through the front door. His wife's waiting for him, and she's pissed off as always. She takes one look and says, I can't believe it. You're drunk. I wanted you, but you just don't care. I'm moving out. The drunk says, stop, honey. Let me explain. It's true, I did have a couple beers, but I'm not drunk. Look at you, she said. You puked down the front of your shirt. Look, it wasn't me, honey. A drunk guy next to me puked on me. He put a $5 bill in my shirt pocket to pay for the shirt. You can see it for yourself. He shows her the $5 bill. She looks at it and then looks at him and says, this is a $10 bill. The guy says, oh, yeah, I forgot. He shit my pants, too. Thanks, folks. That is my shortened version. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Bravo. There you go. Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much. Boy, we have a good time here, don't we? I don't know how many of you know the various myths that are out there, but I just wanted to tell you a few. How many of you heard fresh food is better than frozen food, right? How many people think that that's true?
Me.
It would make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is just so you know, when you go to a grocery store, most of the fresh food that you see has been picked weeks or months before reaching the store and is put in cold storage with various gases to prolong the shelf life. However, frozen vegetables and fruits are frozen within hours of harvesting, thus locking in the nutrients and just waiting for defrosting. How do you like those apples, huh?
Are they fresh or frozen? I don't know.
Yeah, right. How about this one? Here's one. All of you guys are going to know, but I'm not sure you'll know why. Here's a myth. Expiration dates on medicine indicate dates medicine is to be destroyed. Oh, Orchid, you can give us the answer to that one, can't we? Can't you? What's the answer to that one? True, false, or what? Yep, she fell asleep.
No,
okay.
I haven't fallen asleep.
Yeah? What's the
I'll
answer?
use it after the expiration date.
All right, here's the fact. The only reason for an expiration date is the companies that make them say that's the only time they'll guarantee up to full potency. However, most outdated medicines remain unharmful. Only the ones that you take that are outdated will harm you. Okay? All right, here's one. We'll see what you know about this. Sugar makes kids hyperactive. How many people believe that?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's heard this. A medical report by pediatricians at the Riley Hospital for Children said that the study of 12 randomized and controlled trials, scientists have examined how children react to diets containing different levels of sugar. None of the studies indicate any difference in the behavior between the children who had sugar and those who did not. They all took cocaine and acted weird to begin with. No.
Oh.
All right, here's one myth. Margarine is better than butter. Anybody believe that?
I don't know what to
No.
believe anymore.
Are
The
we
fact
talking
is,
taste or health-wise?
Health-wise.
I believe that.
Margarine
I
is
don't think I know.
hydrogenated, processed, polyunsaturated oils are more detrimental to
butter's
health
better.
than saturated fat. Yeah. Butter is a healthy food. There you go. Some myths that you didn't know. All right. All right, another myth. How many people believe that their last lover, who they're no longer with, is pining over them now somewhere? It's a myth.
No way.
Pining?
Mine just got married.
Whining, not pining.
Oh, Haley says absolutely. She was a heartbreaker. Heartbreaker. It's got to be really scary if I become the other woman. Okay, so next up here. Bieberman, are you ready? Bieberman's back and ready to rock and roll up here. All right, Bieberman.
Back?
You wanna
I've never even been on that stage.
All right, but you're back here. We missed you. All right, come on up. It's all yours. Go ahead and enjoy it.
Whew, all right. Second Life, the only place you can be stage fright and no one would ever know. So, anyway, howdy do, folks. Name's Pi Biberman, and I just like to take this moment and let you all know I have actually been here a few times in the past. Never actually been up on the stage before, but I have been here, watched other people, looked at some folks around there, and I have noticed there are quite a few folks that come to this place that actually have been around for a very long time, as early as '04 even, or not '04, '06. But the thing about that is I actually have been around in Second Life since '05. So,
Whoa,
I'm
bravo.
ancient.
So you're still sick, huh?
Standards there. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Been around since '05, still kicking. I'm still waiting for that welfare check from Linden Labs, though.
Yeah, right. Hold your breath.
But yeah, so there was one thing that I wanted to share with everyone tonight that is a little compilation that I'd thought up actually weeks ago. That is a random musing I had at one point about what various popular directors, writers, or whatever might do if they ever made a tasty dish of food for someone. So the first thought I ever had on that regard was that if Tim Burton ever made a dish, it would probably be very good, but it would just be so bizarre some people might not feel comfortable eating it, just from the way it looked. Or if M. Night Shyamalan did a dish, it'd probably be very tasty to some people, but at some point toward the end, maybe at the middle of their meal, it would suddenly change, have a little twist to it.
Yeah.
Suddenly the filet mignon you were eating would suddenly taste like this morning's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. If Joss Whedon ever made a dish for someone, it would no doubt be large, filling, flavorful, but there would be very subtle nuances to it that I believe only the movie and comic book geeks would ever truly get.
Very good.
And the very last one that came to my mind was if Michael Bay ever made a dish, the damn thing would just explode the second you touched it.
Floating souffle.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of an exploding fish, but souffle works too.
Transform into something else, huh?
Only if he wanted to piss the geeks off. So, there is also something else that I actually learned very recently. So, no, there is folks out there that I know of that have said before Switzerland can be a very boring place to go to, you know. Never been myself, so I'm not one to judge, but I have learned recently their flag is a big plus. Yeah. Bet you never realized that, did you?
Those knives they make are not complimentary.
Expensive as hell, too.
Oh God, yes. That's that.
Yeah, yeah.
And not as good as a Leatherman.
What?
Not as good as a Leatherman. That's Swiss Army knives. They're all passé. Everyone has Leathermans. Yeah, Leatherman tools.
Oh yeah, those knives are overrated. Unless you need to uncork some wine.
Yeah. Or unscrew a Phillips head or something, yeah.
So, outside of Second Life, something that I often do to make ends meet is I actually do retail work. Demonstrations, actually, of various products. It's not exactly what you'd call a glamour job. But one advantage to the kind of work that I do is you get a very interesting, almost philosophical outlook on life. And one thing that I have learned in the time that I have been working at that job is that there are very few opinions and observations that are made about the spiritual, political, and the social that are more insightful and profound than that given by a toddler.
Yes.
Just think about it. If you actually take the time to ask some of those profound questions to them, Like if you ask them about the national deficit, oftentimes the answer will be something along the lines of da ba 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 ba. Or
That's
Very
better than what you get
insightful.
from MSNBC.
the present war in Iraq. I've actually had one that said to me once, "Uh-oh." Or even universal health care. That was the most profound of them of all. Kid looked right at me and said, "Boo-boo." And you know, also at a job like what I do there are a lot of very difficult people to deal with, and I oftentimes hear from people in regards to dealing with the full-on jerks that what you should do is just kill them with kindness. You know, be nice to them, all that jazz. Me, I'd rather just let them live instead of kill them with kindness. That way I can kick them in the crotch later. Really vent out there. There have also been a few times where I've actually wanted to look at some of those people and ask them just how stupid they can be, but I've thought twice about that whenever I had that thought, because I oftentimes felt like I'd be issuing a challenge to them.
Oh yeah, I'll show you. Uh-huh.
Exactly, exactly. So, not very many other things that I could really share with you without completely exhausting my repertoire today, so I'll just end with telling you about a couple guys I know from Jersey who at one point were invited to a theme party where the theme was emotions, so they decided what they would do is do something really profound and interesting. They went to that party completely naked. When the hostess answered the door for them, one of them had a pudding cup on their junk. The other one had a fruit on theirs. And hostess was so aghast at their appearance, the first thing to come out of their mouth was, "What the hell are you two doing?" The first of them pointed to the pudding cup and just said to her, "I'm fucking disgusted." The other one immediately replied, "I'm in despair." But that's all for me, folks, so thank you very
Bravo!
much.
Wait, that's
Great job.
Hello, everybody. What a night we have in here going in. That's great. So, anyhow, here we are, and don't forget we have Gene Monroe coming up in less than, 20 minutes, and we've got a couple more comedians coming in. Well, at least two more, I think. Yeah, so I can't go on with too much. There's a lot of different truths and falsehoods and stuff like that. One, this was a claim. The following are instructions enclosed with the novelty toy Tongue of Frog manufactured in Taiwan. You had to say whether this was true or false. These were the instructions, okay? And tell me if they're true or false. These are them. A product has the stickiness and is just like a soft rubber band with a high contractility. It can be played to stick the remote objects. In spite of its sticky, it is never like chewing gums, which is glued tightly and cannot be separated. If the stickiness is not good enough, it can be washed by soap. After it's dried, it can be used continuously many times. The packing paper has printed the bug picture, which can be cut as per the black frame and placed on the table. Then you can stick the picture with your tongue of frogs. The key point for throwing far away is the same as throwing far fish rod. To throw out slowly with full of your strength. Separate it with two hands, then release one hand. Throw it out with full of your strength. No matter what you make a round ball, it will recover the original shape. Caution: never throw out the other person's head. Keep away from fire. In spite of non-toxic, it cannot be eaten. Never pull out tongue of frog hard, as it might be separated. Its content has the oil, so if it touches on cloth, precious object, or wall, the stain will remain if you don't care about it. Never put on surface of any object. Shall keep in poly bag. True or false? Don't you remember all this? That's a true. Do you remember the shit that you used to get and they send you a book like that, the Chinese? Now they just send you a little thing with a little payment stub. Please remit $25 for the money we lent your government for this month. Yeah, it's unbelievable. That's a. All right, let's see if we got one more of these, and we're gonna bring somebody else up. Let's see what's could be good, bad, and different. Let's see if we got one here. All right. Yeah, here's one. True or false? A wealthy Toronto lawyer bequeathed his estate to whichever woman gave birth to the most babies in a 10-year period following his death.
That was
True or false? That's true, yeah. And do you know the 4 women tied? All right, but what I thought was even better to my thing was this was kind of fun. He actually, besides that, left his house in his Jamaica home or whatever. I think it was in Jamaica. He left the house to 3 lawyers that hated each other in the town for them to use. But he didn't tell them upon his, so he also left in the will that he'd already sold it to somebody else. So they, which was pretty fair game to that. I like this guy. This guy was pretty cool. All right, next up, let's get CatBoy. You ready, CatBoy?
all right. Yes, I am. Hold on. Just need to.
Hold on. You
stand
got
up
it.
here.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
Not to hit anybody.
And everybody who's out there, before you get going, CatBoy, I want to tell everybody we thank you, we love you. If you want, you can put money in the venue tip. It goes to Jay Wheels, who uses that money to procure girls in Second Life to have fun with. None of your money
And drugs.
will...
Drugs.
And drugs, right.
Too.
Right.
Don't forget the drugs.
Little blue pills.
Try to guess that medication. You know, we really should roll. I
love that one. That's great.
Yeah.
Think of this. Remember the old cast from Match Game? Imagine them doing that idea. I would
Gene
be
Rayburn,
on the floor for weeks laughing at that one. I love those old guys. You know, like Charles Nelson Riley and all the old comedians. Anyway, when Lauren mentioned that papyrus thing, I saw that in the news, and the very first thing that came to my head was, oh God, Dan Brown wrote another book.
Dan Brown, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He did Angels and Demons and the other one.
Da Vinci
Anyway, and
Code.
I was thinking of that guy who was talking. Oh, is he still here? Right, P. Bieberman. His jokes about the food. And I was thinking, you know what? If J.J. Abrams made a cake, no one would be able to eat it because it would just blind you with the lens flares.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and another thing we were talking about earlier was the, the Internet Explorer. You have to download this fix right away if you have Internet Explorer 9. And what I love is, this thing started on Twitter and it caused a great big panic. Or at least the people who posted it thought, oh, this is so important, this is so terrible. You know what happened? It was like a great big wah, wah, wah. We don't care. No one uses it. And it was just like try to imagine if if the Lindens came charging in here, like the IT department came charging right into Lawrence Place. They were on
Both of them?
fire and they were screaming, "Sweet Jesus, you gotta stop using the Second Life viewer! It's gonna blow up your computer and kill everybody in the room!" And it's like, wah, wah, wah. You mean we should stick to using Phoenix then? It was a valid choice. All right, not a problem. Anyway, I have some interesting news, some exciting news actually. I was talking to a television show producer a guy by the name of, I wrote it down here, Jordan Henbro. He's on Travel Channel. I don't get the Travel Channel. Does anyone here get that?
I travel too much.
Travel too much, right. Well, Travel Channel has a bunch of stuff on, and this guy's got a brand new show called The Toy Hunter, where he's going to go around. And
Yes,
there's a
I
lot
heard
of
about
shows
that.
where they have, they look for people who have special junk and special things and collector shows and whatnot.
The Pickers.
Well, anyway, I was
American.
right. The Pickers. So this is just a spin-off from that, except it's all about toys. So I spoke to the producer, and when I told him how many toys I have, now I went through my collection. I have about 20 dolls and 200 action figures. And when I mentioned to that,
Are they wearing the clothes that they came with, or have you switched them around?
Yes.
All headless and naked.
I play with some of them, yeah. Some of them have been knocked around.
You need the boxes, the original boxes.
No, anyway, when I said this to him, everything kind of went south. It was kind of like, you ever have a job interview where you announce that, oh, by the way, everything I'm educated in I got from a community college, and you get that, oh, well, please leave your resume at the foot of the door on your way out. I'm sure the janitor will pick it up later on or something because, you know, we believe in recycling. But it was really disappointing because they're not looking for the guy that has 200 action figures. They're looking for the guy that has 200,000 action figures. That's the person they're looking for. Like, they're looking for, if you've ever seen this, there are people who, their entire house, like, they literally don't have any room to walk or speak or do anything. The whole house is just, you know, filled with nothing but this junk they collect. And I'm thinking, you know what? I know the reason why they're doing this. They're doubling up. They're selling off. They're trading off because as soon as they're done with the toy hunter, what do? They call it a hoarding show.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. Because every single collector show, if you watch it, can double as a hoarding episode.
Agreed.
You know, on A&E,
Yeah.
and that way, boom, you get 2 for 1 out of one person. And another ridiculous show that I saw that was on TV recently is called Bomb Hunters. You seen Bomb
Bomb Hunters? No.
Bomb
No,
Hunters.
please don't say
It's a
so.
short series.
This is a real show. This is a guys that go around, and they interviewed him on TV, and they said, so you go around looking for unexploded bombs. Yes. So you're going around through a forest or something that used to be an artillery range with a shovel and a metal detector, and
Kind
you're
of
looking
Mexican.
for unexploded artillery pieces, you know, just banging around in there. Yes. And then you get rid
So
of them
how's
through-
your home life?
Yeah. and then
Brief.
and then you get rid of this stuff by controlled detonation. Sometimes, said the guy with one arm. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you get rid of it
Lefty,
by controlled
yeah.
detonation. Yeah. Anyway, I want to get to, my God, what's been going on for this past week. Oh my God, what a week since the last week we were here. I mean, if I had a kid like 10 years now, it's like, son, let me tell you about the second week of 2012, because apparently that was the week when the whole world decided to rise up and let everyone know how much of an asshole they are. I mean, everything, like that stupid film causing the Tunisia incident, Escobar writing faggot on his own face, Rupert Eppard ripping on gays, Iran upping the bounty on Salman Rushdie again. There was a rash of crank call bomb threats in colleges all over North America. It happened right here in Kingston. It happened in U of T. It's going all over the place. And some people think that this is related to what's been going on with the Tunisia incident, but they're saying no. Actually, no. There was one person that came on. They said they have a theory. These crank call bomb threats are actually being made by students who were not prepared to go to class, and they're just kind of hoping that the whole panic thing is contributing to, you know, the longevity. And I'm thinking, how screwed up do you have to be to not be prepared for the first day of class? I mean, if it's near the end, you know, where you got exams, I would understand, but you're not prepared for the first day. It's like, oh yeah, I was going to spend all my money on clothes and supplies, but I blew it all on booze and frat parties. If you're looking for the suspect, just go through the frat houses and look for the one guy that's sitting bare-ass naked in his room with a beer bong shoved up his rear end. That's the guy that's not prepared for first day of class. There's your suspect right there.
That was my brother.
Okay. All right, next up, Romney. Did anyone hear what happened with Romney? He was ripping on a whole bunch of people. Said 42 or 47%. Well, I think, Lauren was actually mentioning that in the act earlier. I don't think Romney's video really exposes the contempt that America has for the contempt that he has for Americans. I think what it does is that it exposes the ignorance that he has for the fact that video cameras come in really small things like phones right now.
Yeah.
And I
But
guess
didn't he
you
say
can
something to
figure
the
that
effect?
out.
Didn't he say something to the effect like 47% of Americans
Yes,
do his yard
47%
work?
of-
Do yard work at his house, right?
Yeah. Also, this past week, crazy things. Rush Limbaugh claims that Obama will wage war on traditional marriage. Rush's first, second, third, and fourth wives were not be able. They couldn't reach him for comment.
Touche.
Touche. All right.
All
Oh,
right.
bad news for Canada right now. Really bad news. NHL lockout. Not good.
Yeah, lockout.
Canada without hockey is basically Milwaukee.
Oh.
Oh,
Drinking with no purpose.
NHL. I
NHL,
thought you meant.
National Hockey League. NHL's
Oh, God.
on lockout right now. So,
I
know what
thought you
think
meant
would
national hookers leave. I didn't understand.
Yeah. Anyway,
That is a tragedy.
but they're on lockout right now. The players are threatening to go on strike. You know what should go on strike? Seriously? The fans. And I mean this. I'm being serious here. The fans should go on strike because when this whole thing is over and they're saying, open for business, we want to see them get their shit together, get everyone to quit, to quit going to the games for a while, and then we'll see how quickly they get their stuff together. Oh, earlier tonight, the last thing I want to talk about was Bill O'Reilly and Jon Stewart.
Yes.
Are having the debate right now. We're missing that. Funny thing, I
heard
never
Gio's selling
saw
it, though.
Bill O'Reilly trend on Twitter. So when he did happen, I was so disappointed that it was a debate because usually when someone his age trends, it's because they had a heart attack. So I was like, so I'm gonna let it go right there. And
Oh, bravo! Fantastic.
All right.
Yeah, you were great. That was terrific. All right, before we bring up the last person, Myth Weaver, and not to forget, Gene Monroe is coming up in 8 minutes. But want to ask you one quick question: how many people know who shut GeoCities? Geo, that's you, right? How many people know who was the one?
Who shut it down?
Yeah, who shut it down?
Steve Jobs?
No. It was who bought it, shut it down, and are on the way to being shut down now. Yahoo!
Yahoo! Guess they're all about Yahoos then.
It's always amazing, We'll pay $500 billion for this company that will probably be out of business within 3 months. All right, Myth, come on up here, do your gig. Gene, I'll get you up on stage to set up in a minute after Myth is done. We're running pretty good. Myth, are you here?
Thank you.
Here comes Myth.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I don't care.
Hey.
Don't answer. Well, let me tell you, it's not been the best day for me. Sometimes in the morning it just doesn't even seem to be worth the trouble to gnaw through all those leather straps, doesn't it? But I guess probably.
Where have you been spending your night?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I've
The
seen
leather
you
straps
at
are the
that
best
sim before.
part.
You don't even go there with me, brother. Anyway, well, yeah. Yeah, you didn't go with me, did you? I don't know. I was drunk. But anyway. But back to today, probably one of the toughest time in anyone's life, is when you have to murder a loved one because they're the devil. But other than that, it has been a good day, so... But always remember the last words of my grandfather. He said, "A truck." Oh yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, everybody, brother says hello. So thank God for speech therapy. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. Of course, when I was a kid, my parents used to tell me, don't go near the cellar door. But one day they were away, and I knew I wasn't supposed to, but I went up to the cellar door. And I pushed, and I walked up through, and I saw strange things, wonderful things, things I'd never seen before. Trees, grass, the flower, man, the sun. That was awesome, man. Let me tell you something. But of course, my parents love me. I know that. They're always so very protective of me. I couldn't even cross the street without them getting all excited and placing bets but when I was a kid, I tried to get into religion. I'm not sure if I really ever grasped it right. I used to pray every night for a new bike, but then I realized, well, the Lord in His wisdom, He just doesn't work that way. So I just went out and stole one and asked Him to forgive me.
Good point.
But I got the bike. But the thing is it's not like my dad, he used to beat my tail. You can't spank kids anymore. But I've got some good advice to you parents out there. Here's what you do. You arrange for them to have an accident. Just loosen up the tricycle handles a little bit. And of course, when I was younger, I got into some trouble. Yeah, I mean, I had a limited stand. I used to give the first glass away free, and of course, charge about $5 for the second glass that had the antidote. But I still love to go down the schoolyards and watch little children jump up and down and run around yelling and screaming. I mean, it's so funny looking at the security guard's face when I tell him, "Hey, man, these are only blanks in here." But I gotta admit though, I keep it up even at my age. I ran 3 miles today. I finally said, "Lauren, take back your damn purse." Damn it, man. He can run fast. But, I heard these two ladies going on about how the pains of childbirth, how hard it is to be a woman, and men they think that men don't know what real pain is. Let me tell you, ladies, you don't know pain until you've zipped yourself up in your own zipper. Let me tell you something. Amen. Am I right? Of course, and, being a performer here on Second Life, I found that I had a large gay following, but I ducked into a bar and I lost him. And I started nursing a beer in there, and, of course, my nipple was getting quite soggy at that point, so I got a little bit bored. And so I decided to go from stool to stool, hoping to get lucky, but unfortunately, I didn't find any gum in any of them. So, I started talking to some friends, and you know how always at parties, they always ask, where were you when Kennedy was shot? It's like, fuck, man, I don't have an alibi. But, the thing is the thing for me with some friends have been concerned about me lately, but I'm doing better with the ladies, and I used to be scared of pretty girls until one day one of them confessed, "Look, we're just as scared of you." But people sometimes do come up to me and say, "Do people really come up to you?" Because I think they're concerned that I'll reproduce. But that's the whole thing. I really haven't gotten all this whole bed thing messed up. I mean, because I discovered my wife in bed with another man. I was crushed. I said, "Get the hell off of me, you two." And I mean, by the time the next night, I was sleeping alone. I mean, the damn exterminator. I mean, I understand the mice, but the silverfish, what did they do to anybody? I mean, I just don't see any point of that. But, and my girlfriend, she all giggles during sex, and I mean, of course it throws me off. I got to stop and see what she's reading, I mean, but I will say this much. I hope we get married. Maybe we'll get married, maybe not. But, I've always wanted a loving wife, and I figured, if she's not the one, I'm sure I will find one that does actually want to be an American citizen. So, with all that being said, those of you who have telekinetic powers, would you raise my hand?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm back in voice, I think. Am I back?
Well, I had a wonderful time, folks. This is Mithril Weaver, and I really appreciate you letting me come up.
Way to go. All right, Gene, get up here on stage. We had a Janet Jackson moment there. Yeah. That was quite something. Yeah. Everybody give it up. Let's have an applause for everybody that performed tonight.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, what a night.
Great
Doc,
work,
Grun,
everybody.
CatBoy, Bieberman. Yeah, Mithril. What a night, huh? Okay. Where's Jean? Is she here? Did Jean crash? Is she still around?
I hear her, folks. She may not
You hear her.
on stage,
You
but
hear
I
her doing
her.
what? What do you hear her doing? Is she underneath the stage? There
There's
she is.
something
Jean
right
Monroe
there.
is here.
All right,
She's
look
on
at
the
her.
stream, folks.
She's on the
She's
stream.
on the stream.
Turn on
Oh, we
your
gotta go right
stream.
to stream. All right, let's go right
yeah.
to
All
stream.
right. All
right, here we go.
I
Yes.
gotta relog.
All right. Ah, shit. As usual, it doesn't. Yes, we hear you.